Welcome back to another video on the channel. So today I thought, you know what, let's switch up a little bit. We're always going through the charts, we're always doing that. I'm basically explaining everything I'm looking for when going into a trade. So getting straight into it, first of all, risk management. Risk management is one of the most vital things when it comes to trading. Without risk management, you're never going to succeed. So each day, you never want to take more than 1 to 2 trades a day, because you take one trade in the morning. If you win in the morning, then you're done for the day. You're done for the day. You do not look at the afternoon session. You don't hop online. You don't start saying, this setup's looking nice. Now you're done for the day. You win the morning session, that's it. Say you was to lose the AM session, then you'd have a look at the afternoon session, but you'd only be looking for A+ setups. Absolutely, like proper good setups. And in the afternoon session, you would half your risk size. So say you risked $500 usually in the AM session and you lost. So in the afternoon session, you'd be risking $250. You'd risk half position size on only A+ setups. So for example, say you have a 150k account with a 4.5k drawdown, which this is like a top step example here. So you do not want to risk more than $400 to $800 per trade. So the max risk on a funded account, personally for me, I don't risk more than anywhere from 0.25% to 1.5%, depending on the account size. If it's a 300k account, I'm not going to be risking more than 0.25 to 0.5% per trade. And if it's a lower account, something like a 50k account, I'll risk upwards of 1 to 1.5% if it's an A+ setup. Getting into the next, we've got the liquidity sweep. So this happens prior to New York session around 8:30 a.m. time. And then also after, in the afternoon session, you have the New York lunch. And this is where we usually get all the liquidity sweeps from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. New York time. So we get the sweeps during lunch, and then going into the afternoon session, you then trade the opposite and target the opposing liquidity. But to mark out buy side and sell side liquidity, you want to use the higher time frame. You don't want to be on the 1 minute, you don't want to be on the 5 minute marking out sell side, because that's not a major sell side liquidity. To mark out major sell side liquidity, you want to be on the 1 to 4 hour time frame, daily or even weekly. Once you've marked out major buy side and sell side liquidity, then you wait for price to draw to that liquidity pool, sweep it, and then you look for your trade in the lower time frame in the opposite direction. So you look for them sweeps around 8:30 a.m. New York time, so 1 hour before the market opens at 9:30. You look for the price to sweep either sell side or buy side liquidity, and then depending on your bias, if that sweep in the opposite direction is with your bias, that would be an A+ setup. But obviously a few more things go into that. I've created a little example below of what a setup would look like. So you've got sell side liquidity here. You wait for price to sweep sell side liquidity. It's now swept sell side liquidity is displaced higher above this level. It's created an order block. This order block is something ICT teaches in his videos. So you may have to go back and watch some of his videos to understand what an order block is, because I'm not going to explain that today. So it creates an order block, it sweeps sell side liquidity, it's displaced higher above this level. These two levels is displaced higher, it's created now a fair value gap. Here, you would look for price to draw down into this fair value gap, or imbalance, and you look for an entry off this order block inside of the fair value gap. That's optimal entry. Where would I put my stop? So you put your stop at the lows. That's a valid stop. Trade will be invalidated. So you put your stop at the lows and you set your take profit at a buy side or sell side liquidity, a major one on the 4 hour time frame, much higher up. Also, I'm going to quickly mention about our signals group. We're currently running a very good deal. $49 a month, you get access to our signals group. We're hitting TPs, getting smashed every week. We're currently on a 4 weeks and we haven't lost a single week. 4 weeks in profit, closing out in profit. With this week, we hit a massive trades, 1 to 5 hours on GBP, JPY, also 1 to 3 hours on NQ. So the link's in the description if you want to go check it out. All right, so getting into the next slide, got the fact sheet. These are absolutely crucial. You need to make sure you write these down. Don't trade patterns for patterns' sake. You do not want to be trading patterns, W pattern, M pattern, whatever anyone has told you in the past, butterfly pattern, dog pattern, like any of that stuff, it all don't work. You can't be trading patterns. Patterns is not how the market moves. The market is an algorithm, and you need to understand where price is going to draw to. Liquidity is what drives the market, not patterns, not dog patterns and all that stuff. That's not how the market works. The next one, you don't want to be using indicators. Doesn't matter what indicator is. Stay away from indicators. We look for longs where retail sells. So retail will be going short when it usually breaks below a certain support or resistance. We look for a sweep and we look to enter long. We look for shorts where retail buys. We anticipate price seeking opposing liquidity. Simple. So swept sell side liquidity. We're looking for price to then draw to the opposing buy side liquidity. And then obviously time of day is absolutely vital when engaging in price. So obviously when trading ICT concepts, time of day is one of the most crucial things when it comes to engaging with price and executing your trades. So here's the 3 sessions I look at for when engaging with price. So you have the London session, you got the New York AM session, and you have the New York afternoon session. The New York session stop raid, that's at lunchtime. So you look for stops to get raided, either buy side or sell side, and then you execute in the opposing direction in the afternoon session. However, the main session to look at is the New York AM session. Here's the macro time, 9:40 a.m. to 10:10 a.m. That is the exact window, it's a 30-minute window, and that's the time you look to enter your trades. If you get a really nice setup, that's usually when they occur. They occur in that 30-minute window. All right, so with your take profit and stop loss, you want to set your first take profit. Say you're trading NASDAQ, you want to set your first take profit at 25 points, which is 5 handles on ES, or you can set your first take profit at a minor buy side liquidity, which is not too far away from your entry, which is around 30 points from your entry. A minor buy side liquidity would be your first take profit. Once your first take profit has been hit, make sure to set your stop loss at break even. So then it's a risk-free trade. Doesn't matter what goes on after that, not a problem. Final take profit, you set it on the 4 hour or the 1 hour major sell side liquidity or buy side liquidity. That's where you set your final take profit. You set your stop loss where the trade is invalidated, such as the lows. So the lows or just below the fair value gap, you want to put it in a spot where the trade is invalidated. And then risk to reward is crucial. You don't want to be entering trades which are 1-to-1s or even 1 to negative. So we only look for a 1-to-2 risk to reward or better. Personally, I look for 1-to-3s, 1-to-4s. Sometimes you even get 1-to-7s, but they're very rare. But most of the time you look for a 1-to-2 or better. People have been asking me which prop firm is the best one to go with. Personally, I'm with 3 prop firms. I'm with Top Step, FTMO and Apex. Out of the 3, Apex is probably the worst prop firm out of the 3. But I highly recommend Top Step as the best futures. Once passed, you can withdraw up to 50% of your profits. I've had no issues with Top Step. However, with Apex, you can get accounts very cheap. They're always running 80% off sales, which is kind of weird. However, once you are funded, you need to wait around 1 to 3 months before you can actually withdraw your whole balance. You're only able to withdraw 2K. Even if you have a 300K account, you can only withdraw 2K profits per every 2 weeks. Which I find is a bit stupid, to be honest. So unless you want to wait the 1 to 3 months, then I'll just pick Top Step, to be honest. Top Step's the easiest and one of the best prop firms in the game for futures. For Forex, I also trade US 100 on FTMO, which is the same as NQ1, which is futures. It moves the exact same. It's just the spread difference and the price difference is a bit different to futures. But FTMO is obviously one of the top prop firms. It's the most history and it's been around the longest, so FTMO is one of the best prop firms to go with. Once again, thank you so much for tuning into this video. We're actually taking over YouTube, I can't lie. We've only been around for about 3 weeks and Instagram's blown up, YouTube's going crazy, Telegram's going crazy, everything's going mad. We're actually taking over. So keep supporting the video, drop a like, subscribe now, comment what you want on your next video. And I'll drop the links below for the signals group and the free group and everything you guys need. I'll see you in the next one.